Donald Trump's Twitter account. If they wanted, they could post as him, or read his direct messages. They could even change his password and email if they want. Surely, if that happened, Twitter would recover it. This is the level of access they now have. They owned Trump's Twitter account. They cleared the biggest obstacle, and hindsight being 2020, it didn't seem that hard to pull off. The Grumps had a mishap, and in a matter of hours figured out Trump's credentials and tricked Twitter. And now that the hack was complete, they could file a comprehensive, coordinated disclosure with Trump. And that would theoretically protect them from legal trouble. Here's Victor.
And now comes the responsible task of documenting everything, writing, the responsible disclosure email, explaining to someone with hardly no experience with computers or, security, explaining what the issue is, what he can do about it, what has to be checked, what has to be changed. You cannot say, hey, this is your pass. Anyone else in that time period will find the same way in and do something not so pleasant with that account.
The Grumps could have been those bad actors, but that was never their intent. They didn't look at any private mess point. They CC'd the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Computer Emergency Readiness Team, or CERT, in case Trump ignored them. And on all these emails, they signed it as the Guild of the Grumpy Old Hackers, with all three of their full names. They were eager to hear something back. But it's stressful when you send an email like this, essentially saying that you hacked into someone's stuff, because you don't know what the reaction will be from it. You're hoping that you get an email back immediately, thanking you for pointing out this glaring problem and that we'll address it right away. Whatever hope they had for immediate gratification didn't pan out. No one was getting back to them. Edwin says they forwarded the report to the other Trump email address that they found earlier.
A couple of hours later, when we had no response, we sent them to campaign@Donald Trump and some other emails we found, and that's good for us because in the end it turned out evidence was of course hard, and we got a bounce back from one of the email addresses.
So that was good for us because you need to, you can say that you sent an email, but if you have a bounce back from one of those email addresses, that's always nice to have.
It felt like this bounced email was their one shred of proof that they tried to do the right thing. But even still, they're concerned that CERT didn't write back yet. They dealt with them before and knew the routine.
Or is it because we already know that this is his password for 2 years and we actively using it? So, shit, why did these guys find it? All things go to your head, you don't know.
Jokes aside, the next day, there was still no answer from anyone, and their minds were racing. They were almost freaking out. It didn't help.
Because when we saw Obama, Trump's Twitter was taken away from him. And then we were immediately thinking that it was us. We don't know.
This did actually happen at a rally. I have this to say.
You may have heard.
Sounds like it was from you guys.
Probably, but we don't know for sure. There are, of course, a lot of people who don't believe this story, and for us to see Obama laughing about it on TV and telling him that if you can't handle Twitter, you can't handle nuclear codes, for us that was a bit of a appreciation moment.
They never did hear anything from Trump or the U.S. CERT directly from this event. They didn't hear anything from Twitter either. Victor had some suggestions for Twitter about this. He tweeted that verified Twitter accounts should have better security. A blog post that we're now forcing election-related accounts with weak passwords to switch to stronger ones. This meant at least 10 characters and a mix of letters and symbols.
Including for the elections.
You have to wait for Twitter or anyone else to do something. You can turn on two-factor.
We showed it, and we were in this Twitter account.
But then their intentions mattered. And their intentions were to contact the proper authorities to prove information all over the reports they submitted. And because they've been in the U.S. since then, it would have been easy for them to be arrested if they were actually criminals. But nobody did arrest them, which tells me they did do the right thing. A big thank you to Edwin, Matt, and Victor for sharing their information. You can find links to all these people in the show notes or at darknetdiaries.com. I bring the show to you every 2 weeks. Do you like it and want to hear more episodes? A great way to show your support is to help fund the show through Patreon. As a million keyboards, one will eventually write a podcast. This then episode 87, and now this one, episode 88. All right, let's do this. These are true stories from the dark side of the internet.
Time to get up out of here.